What up, people? My brothers, brahheads, gearheads, gassers, and even the nitro guys, of course. Nitro is always going to be my first. Well, it is finally that time. Everybody's like, what the heck has been taking so long? So, as you can see, it's here. 5B is obviously on it, like a hobo on a hot dog, because the 5B is like, hey, wait. I'm the baddest vehicle in this cave. Wait a minute, what is this? Actually, he's just excited as I am, because it's a new family member. So we have a new 5th scale family member. I told you. I like to think that I'm a man of my word. This was going to happen. Took a minute. Took a while. Some of you, by the title of this video, already figured out what it is, but some of you still don't know what it is, so we're going to get into it. Now, as soon as I get this out, there's something that I want to show you. This was probably take in the month of making for me to decide this. It is a lot of money. There's $3,165 worth of 5th scale in that box, and it doesn't even have an engine or radio or electronics. That's going to be coming. But anyway, I'm filming this because I have a couple phones, and I was going to do it with my GoPro, but the GoPro kind of looks weird when I do it inside here. The GoPro is mostly for when we're out there ripping out in the field or wherever. Usually I've used it in here, but I like using my camera phones better. So this is an extra one I have. And I have a conversation, the conversations that I had with this guy here. So obviously you guys, if you know who this is, then you already know what's in there. His name is Maher Besedra. I think he's Italian. Matter of fact, he just got back from Italy. He was gone for about 2 weeks. That's why this would have been here earlier. But I had to wait. I wanted to wait for him till he got back because I wanted him to deal with it personally as far as shipping it to me. These are some conversations that he's on my messenger. We've been talking for probably about a good month. And after I do this unboxing, he will explain to you a lot of things that most people, even people that own them, don't know about these vehicles. Okay. Funny, we call it the Bugatti of 5th scales. Again, yes, the Outlaws are bad to the bone. 5T, I could have got one of those. Could have got a Baja. 5T, it's not, you know, this is a race kit. Like a 5T, it's a race kit already built. 5T isn't a race kit. This is the only race kit, and I'll emphasize that till I'm blue in the face because a lot of people get confused. The 5B is the only race kit that you build. Now these here, they build them to race. It's a race kit, but it's already put together. Mohair he was explaining to me, it's similar to, if you guys know Kyosho. Kyosho makes an MP9 KKI4 just like this one, with all the race upgrades and everything, but already put together. It's a little bit more. I think it's like $800 or $900. It's pretty expensive, but it's basically one of their race kits, but already built. So that's kind of what this vehicle is in here. I could have got a hybrid. I could have got any one of those. Matter of fact, I think my 5B, now that I've got everything into it, I'm going to show you that in a second. Matter of fact, let me show you. It's the 5B is done, but what I did is, this thing is heavy. It's always been heavy. What I did is I didn't mount the engine in or the tank or the radio tray, so I could pull it out and you can really just get a closer look at this bad to the bone chassis, the braces, all the stuff that I just put on it from Taylor. Shout out to Mike Taylor. I keep bugging him. He's messing around with possibly coming out with all billet aluminum front knuckles and hub carriers, hub carriers. So this whole front section here hopefully soon he'll be coming out with these all billet. Yeah, it's a little bit more weight, but at this point this thing's already kind of a fat pig. So you'll have not only these on the rear that I already have now, but you'll have them in the front. But anyway, oh, and by the way, there is nitro and fifth scale coming up either at the end of this video or I'll upload another video. This will be the rare time where I upload 2 videos back to back, because this might take up a whole video. You're in for probably about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to unbox it. We're going to take a close look underneath the hood, look at every little detail. I've only seen one other person unbox it, but he wasn't very thorough with it. He kind of just whipped through it. I spent, you know, I mean, this is $3,000 worth of vehicle. I want to see what this thing, every little piece looks like. Also, we got the Baja, King Motors Baja, with the Taylor 35 in there. That's ready to roll. Hold on, I got to move that out of the way, because I got to have, sorry. He's losing his position now. Since the Baja is the lower width on the totem pole of fifth scales. Okay, so hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, without further ado, let's. I already took a peek inside of it. I opened it, the lid up. I couldn't wait. This has been here for like 2 days. Matter of fact, last night I slept next to slept to it. I fell asleep. There's a lot going on. Busy at work, a lot of overtime. This was probably a, you know, I would say, oh geez, 60 hours. No, more than that. Probably about 100 hours worth of overtime for this. So anyway, you guys ready? Oh, before we get into, you guys are like, I want to see it. Come on, Muggy, let me see it. Let's look over the 5B. So obviously, this thing is, like I said, I would compare it even above and beyond, and none of an Outlaw or any of the other Taylor billets, because this is all Taylor billet now, with the exception of the arms. I'm not going to do the arms. I've got the Turtle Racing billet arms on here. These things are pretty much indestructible. I'm not going to break these even if I hit a wall. So we got the titanium Taylor hinge pins in here, the front bulkhead, front shock tower, all Taylor. I'm not going to go over everything. Most of you guys know what's on this, but I'm just going over the upgrades. So we replaced front and rear arms, Turtle Racing. Now I had to do a little bit of modification because the arms rubbed a little bit. I could have put spacers to move it up so it didn't rub, but I didn't want to change the geometry of this 5B. Obviously, by pushing the vehicle forward, you guys probably know from Nitro, if you guys know or don't know, when you push a vehicle out longer, like the 5T is more stable. That's why you run bigger engines that are not as wild, because it's a longer chassis. It's the same thing as a truggy and a buggy. When you shorten so you get a longer chassis, but it doesn't handle it as well as the 5B. It doesn't turn as sharp. You definitely can't whip the 5T around like the 5B, because the 5B is shorter. Okay, but maybe, like I said, but then the 5B isn't as stable, even though I've never had an issue with this at high speeds, because it's shorter. So anyway, I didn't want to push the front out anymore and put spacers in. So I had to do a little altercation to the aluminum diff housings, which I didn't want to, but I did, and now they're fine. Everything's good. Obviously, we got the rear shock tower, the rear bulkhead, rear hubs, all billet. I still got to secure a couple things. They're not mounted up all the way, but let me take the hood off and take the stuff out that's not bolted in, so you guys can take a quick peek at it, and then we'll get oops. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. Okay, so yeah, like I said, everything's not mounted in yet. So look at that. Isn't that thing just freaking Picasso right here? There's the front chassis brace, Taylor chassis. I mean, the way this thing's channeled, I mean, the tank, the little deal on the tank fits right in there. I mean, everything just fits snug. These are the cooling fins. These here are which 5T and 5B stock chassis do not have. They don't have a lot of this, but especially this. This helps keep the engine cooler. There you got the modified center diff. Front. I think I might change this to aluminum too. I think Taylor makes one of those. And I think I'm going to change these plastic mounts out. I forgot the name, the company that makes the servo holder. They make these too. They're expensive, but so I'll change that to billet. The back one will be billet, but I mean this thing is just like freaking eye candy, jewelry. Love this thing, man. This is definitely like I would compare it to an Outlaw or to a hybrid because it has the full chassis and everything, you know, front and rear, diff tower, shock. Yeah, this thing is bad to the bone. So I've got probably, oh, let's say we're over five grand into the 5B now. So, but anyway, let's take a close look and unbox the new whip. You guys ready? Alright, let's see what's in here. Oh, snaps. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Alright, I'm back. You guys ready? I don't know. Let's see what's in here. Oh, let me get my little blade. Oh, yes. It is Christmas, early Christmas at the Muggy's cave. Okay, you guys ready? Bam! Oh, snaps. So we got the MCD instruction manual. Cool. I'm going to need that because guess what? This baby is getting torn apart. Yeah, we're not just going to run this thing. I'm going to tear this thing. I will know this vehicle within the next few weeks. I'm going to tear it completely apart because I'm going to have to go through the shocks, go through the diffs, all of that. So, anyway, let's take the... Let me see, can I take this whole thing out? Hold on, give me a second. Let's try to figure out... Well, we got something else in here. What else is in here? Looks like we got some goodies. What? Oops. Oh, yeah, my brother, Mohair Bashira. I can't say his name. Got some Cardinal Racing stickers, and what? We got a Cardinal Racing shirt. Oh, Mohair, you shouldn't have. Hooking a brother up. Let's see that. Check that out. There's the Cardinal stickers. Let's see what this shirt looks like. My size? Heck yeah. Need a hat now. Need an MCD hat. Anyway, there's that. Okay. Put that to the side. See how we can get this baby out. How it comes out. Does it come out? It's probably all. Yeah, it's mounted. Okay, I see. Give me a second, people. Be patient. That was easy. Let's see if we can get to the front. That one's out. That one's out. Okay, I see. We're gonna have to. This is one heavy, big ass bitch. So. Well, you know what I'm here. I'll just turn this thing upside down. down. Here we go. Oh my gosh. What's this? More paperwork. Parts part. Oh, I forgot I have this. Bonehead carbon fiber mud guards for this. So you guys, obviously, you know by now, you are looking at the ultimate fifth scale. Okay? The MCD W5 Max Ultimate. Okay? So let's get this thing up on the stand so we can take off the hood and get a real close look at it. So I know everybody wants to see underneath. And you know what? This thing is freaking light. This thing is lighter than my 5D. I gotta weigh it. I don't know what it weighs, but we'll find out. I'm not sure about that. It is definitely... This camera doesn't do this thing justice. This thing is freaking huge. Okay, it is big and bad to the bone. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take the rims and tires off. Obviously, there's my deal here. We probably just use these tires for breaking it in. Okay. Difficult to get these off. You didn't glue them on. There we go. That wrench. I finally found a use for this wrench. Doesn't work on anything that I need my fit scales. Seems like this bolt is a little bit smaller. So we'll take the tires off. That way we can really look at it closely. Okay. Oh, Jesus. This thing's not tight. Yeah, so, yeah, I talked with Mohair for a month. Oh, look at the front end, man. You guys, wait till you see this bad boy. Okay, this thing is just full of trickery. Full of custom. Now, people say, well, the aluminum is heavier. This isn't. This actually, if you read up on the MCDs, this one here, the Ultimate, it'll tell you that the plastics on this thing, the other ones that come with plastic, this one here obviously has, it's 70-75 aircraft billet aluminum. Okay. These arms are lighter, and this is coming from Mohair. And like I said, you can read up on go on their website. These aluminum arms are lighter, as light or lighter than the plastic polymer ones that they made, because of the way they're machined. So, just so you know, they're not heavier by any means. Jeez, this thing is so big. I definitely need a bigger room, so, which I will probably be moving out of here within the next few months. So, yeah, we'll save these rims and tires. We'll use these for break-in. I've got those new Uber spikes that I got. I'm waiting on the inserts. I've got the rims they're going to go on, so we will be putting these bad boys on there, which will be perfect. So I'm just waiting for the phones. Alright, so oh my gosh, look at that. This thing is, I mean, look at that. Look at the front end. 70, 75 aircraft. Look at the frickin' shafts on the look at the shafts on the drivetrain. All booted. I don't know why they didn't put boots down here. They put them up top. I wonder if I can get boots from the bottom. You can see the 5B. Look, I mean, these are, we'll compare these, because now where my 5B's at, it's set for the arms, and see, Mike's working on, Mike Taylor at Taylor RC is working on billet front hub carriers and hubs for the 5B and the 5T, I guess. But alright, let's take the hood off of this bad boy. Give me 1 second. And I mean, this thing is just a work of art. I don't even know where to start. So first of all, this is a lot of the goodies. It comes with extra shock springs for the intake, clutch deal. There's a clutch. I think clutch or clutch bell. Comes with the pinion. What else comes with this thing? I did get some mud guards, some different mud guards. I'll probably carbon fiber wrap those. Here's another air intake with the velocity stack. There's the tires you've seen. There's the body. This is going to be sent in, just so you guys know. Some of you may have heard of him. His name is Barry Gamble. He still does. He was the original guy that did John Bodagel's first, his 4.0 truggy and buggy, and then he did that God of War. I might have him do something similar to the God of War, a black and reddish color, because it will match the engine that's going to be going in this thing eventually. There's a roll cage that comes with it. Yeah, so you get a lot of goodies. You get a whole nother intake deal. There's your guard for the top of the engine. So just so you guys know, and I'll let you listen to Mohair in a second. He's going to explain. See, it doesn't feel, yeah, I bet you there's no grease inside of this thing. Yeah, and I don't know how the diffs are. Yeah, so we're going to pull this thing apart. We're going to tear it all the way down. But dual steering servos, dual. Now, I don't know if those are big. Yeah, I think those are for big ones. And I believe the throttle servo will be small. A small one. Kind of like the Bajas do. So you got basically an 8 scale steering servo, and then you put 2 or 1, whatever. He recommends 2. Again, Mohair Bushera is the main distributor in the United States, or everywhere mostly, for MCDs. The company Cardinal Racing is based out of Canada. He's basically equivalent of what John is at Detroit Performance. Those of you guys know Detroit Performance, John, forget his last name, he's the one that distributes in the United States all the Taylor stuff. You can go through Mike in Europe, but it's just more expensive to have it shipped. That's why it's cheaper and easier to go through Detroit Performance, and that's what John does. And the same thing with Mohair. He is the main distributor for all the MCDs in the United States. Okay, the one that you see people, or you've seen people get, that's big bore ready, all big, and he'll explain that. I'm going to let you listen to the conversations we had, just so I'm not, because, I get a lot of flack sometimes because people say, oh, well, Muggy doesn't know what he's talking about, or, okay, well, don't take my word. Take the word from the guy that is the main guy in charge of selling these in the United States. And by the way, these are very, very hard to get. They're kind of made on order. If you go look on their website, they'll just say out of stock. You got to go through him, contact him or MC or Cardinal Racing, and you can get one of these. It probably will take about a month to get it. Mine took a little bit longer because, like I said, he was out on vacation in Italy and Germany. But it's here, and this is what $3,000 worth of fifth scale looks like. Now, there's 3 different levels of this truck. There's the W5 Pro, which he's going to explain in a minute. That's the entry level. Okay, it doesn't have all the upgrades that this does and all the aluminum this does. Okay, there's another one, FT or FF something. It's a middle of the road one. And then there's this one. It's called the Ultimate for a reason, because it's the ultimate. This is the best of the best, the baddest of the baddest. Forget all those. Like I said, they're badass too. But compared to this is like a whole nother next level. Okay, this is the baddest 4-wheel drive 5th scale truck on the planet. Period. No bones about it. End of story. Okay. So, is it a pissing contest? Well, sometimes it is. Do we want to try to one-up the other guy? Yes, we do. Why? Because we're men. Because we have testosterone in us. Because that's the way we're programmed, and that's the way our DNA, our design of our being is. Unfortunately, okay, we're competitive. I'm competitive. I know. I want to outdo everybody. That's why I did this. You will never see. If you find one, let me know, a 5B like this. This is a one-off, one-of-a-kind 5B, and there's a couple more things, believe it or not, that I'm going to add to this. We're not done yet. Okay? I've already put over $5 grand into it, but we're not done yet. This, you don't have to do anything to it. I'm running a small bore in it to begin with, either the 34 Reed or the Taylor 35, because I was highly recommended to do that by Mohair. To enjoy all the trickery and all the gadgets and the way this thing was designed. It's designed to race. It's not designed to bash. Yes, it is a good basher, obviously. It's the only 4-wheel drive that can handle big bores without doing all kinds of upgrades to it. I want to put a 71 in it. I still might. I wanted to put a 60 or 65. Mike said it would be pushing it. Okay? And it probably won't be as reliable. But I haven't decided what I'm going to put in it yet. I want to put an 88 Diablo in it, but I don't want to sit there and wrench it. Remember, and this is what I'm learning over the last few years, is 5th scales. The bigger engines you put in it, the crappier it performs, as far as, you know, the handling of it, I should say, not perform, the handling of it. Okay? You definitely aren't going to jump it without destroying everything. So that's not what I want. And you're going to be wrenching and replacing stuff every time you run it almost, most of the time. So just keep that in mind. Bigger isn't always, it is badder, but it isn't always better. Okay? He told me, run the 35 Taylor, run your small bores in here first so you can appreciate the pure race design of this thing, the way it handles, the way it, everything. Okay? Because this is what it's made for. When you get a big bore kit from Mike, it's definitely not going to be an ultimate. Okay? It's the Pro, which is entry level, and big bore ready means they take all this stuff that's for the small bores out of it. The pipe and the mounting wear and everything. And when you buy a big bore engine from Taylor, you get all the stuff to drop in an MCD anyway. Like say when you buy a 55 or a 50 or whatever, you order the MCD package, it'll you know, give you a choice, and it comes with everything you need to just drop this engine in. And then all you're going to do on these is just take the pipe out and some of the mounting stuff that it has for the small bores. That's all it is. It's nothing different. Okay? Big bore ready, all that means is just ready for a big bore to drop in. There's nothing special about them. And they definitely, you're not going to get a big bore. Well, I guess you could, but it would probably be expensive. Even more. Ultimate. I haven't seen a big bore ready Ultimate. The ones that Mike Taylor does are just the entry-level W5 Max Pros, which is the entry level. This is why it's called the Ultimate. It has things that one doesn't, and the other ones don't. And if you want to add the upgrades, you're gonna. Even Mohair said they did all the research and figured that even if you took the W5, because it's like $1,000 cheaper, by the time you put everything in it that this thing has, it would be more expensive. Okay, the rear diff housings are polymer, right, or whatever the material is. The front of them is aluminum. just this front piece, and the same thing with the front one. Front of it's the nylon or polymer, whatever, and the back part of it's aluminum. The other MCDs don't have that, unless it's an Ultimate. Just this piece and that piece is $400. I asked them, they're $100 for a piece, and it's not even a full diff. And all the other stuff that if you were to get with this thing, this has aluminum diff cups inside, both front and rear. And obviously it has the center diff, which is all aluminum. I mean, look at this thing. Let's get a close look at it while I'm yapping. Look at these, how beefy these things are, man. These things are huge. Beautiful aircraft aluminum. I mean, just look at the... I wouldn't want plastic with this stuff. This is all aircraft 7075 aluminum. All of this thing is so bad ass. I mean, look, all this in here, all the acronym and the steering, it's all these here, there's bearings all in here. It's all ball bearings. I mean, look at that. Close look at the center diff. All 7075 aircraft aluminum. Front and rear brace, all of that, the whole rear end, all that. Look at that. I mean, this thing is just sick. It's like a 8-scale Truggy with all the upgrades, all the aluminums on them. You know, I mean, it's just, this thing is looking, it's just, it's just art, man. I mean, I literally have the baddest truck, 5th scale truck ever made, or, well, not ever, I don't want to say ever, because somebody could have done their own thing, but this is a race truck. That's a race buggy. So, definitely, I'll agree with Crucial when he unboxed his. This is my last 5th scale, more than likely. I'm not going to buy any more 5th scales. One, I don't have the room. Maybe later down the line, maybe next year when I move into a bigger place, possibly, but I don't even have room for this thing. I mean, look at all my nitros I got. You know, I've got, what, a dozen nitros? This is coming up. We're going to run the Roma .25, just so you nitro guys know. We're going to run the Kyosho. Coming up either in the end of this video or on the following video, we are going to run the Taylor 35 for the first time in the King Motors Baja. I'm excited about that because I want to see what that thing does. Okay, and I think we're going to run the LRP .30 RCR modded in the Associated, definitely. So anyway, there you guys go. MCD Ultimate. It is the Ultimate. Now I might carbon fiber wrap a lot of this stuff, or I'm going to ask Mohair and see if I can get a carbon fiber radio tray, or if they make one. I'd love a carbon fiber radio tray. That's the only thing really missing in this thing. It doesn't have any carbon fiber in it. I mean, you can get the bonehead stuff, but why? This stuff's way stronger, especially if I'm going to put a big bore in it later. Yeah. I mean, look at the brakes are all vented. I mean, this thing is just, I'll give you guys an overview of this. This thing is just badass. I mean, these shocks aren't like the ones that you get on the W, I think the ones that you get on the Pro. There's plastic in here. These are all aluminum. And there is another upgraded shocks that you can get better for this. They're like super expensive, and Mohair said these are fine. So, but yeah, I'm going to tear this thing apart. Take everything out of it, all the way down to the chassis. I got to get in there and see what's in the diffs. Probably add some, you know, going to put $1 million in the center, just like my 5B, and 500 in the rear, 500 in the front. Grease everything up inside of there. Pull the shocks apart, see what I got in there. I don't know even how they feel, but they might be okay. We'll double check those. But yeah, we're just going to go over it. We're not going to just put an engine in and run this thing. The bumper's pretty cool, I guess. I mean, I like this bumper. I mean, I'll keep it. It goes with the truck body. But yeah, Barry Gamble is going to do a custom paint job. I don't know what yet. Maybe something like a God of War, like I said, like Mr. Zagat on his 4.0 truggy, or I might get something completely different. Who's to say? I was thinking of doing something like that body up there, some crazy colors, but I'm not sure. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys listen to this, and this will kind of explain a lot. Okay, give me 1 second.
Hello Kurt, how are you? I'm just sending you a voice message because it's a lot easier. So basically, there's no MCD that's big bore ready, okay? So can they handle a big bore? Of course they can. They are very well-built cars. They have a strong drivetrain. They are the best of the best. And the thing is that the Taylor engine, or whatever that engine is they have because of their size, their very big size, they have their own clutch bell housing, etc., etc. So when you purchase that engine, that's what you get with it anyways, and then you just drop it into the MCD. The differences between the W5 Max Pro and the Ultimate is a lot of difference. The Max Pro is a good car, but it's more of an entry-level truck, so it has planetary differentials. Instead of the aluminum, it has a lot of composite parts, which is still really good. But the Ultimate is more of a competitive truck. It's firmer. It has lots of aluminum, which makes it more accurate, and also it has limited slip differentials. You can adjust your caster angles on the go with the adjustable caster blocks. There's a lot of features with the Ultimate, and also you will not need to upgrade anything. Like if you're into upgrading and making your cars look all nice and things like that, you will be spending more money if you get the Max Pro rather than just getting the Ultimate. And also, even though you're not planning on using some of the features and components that come with the Ultimate, like Pro Bite clutch, like the original clutch carrier setup, like the aluminum intake manifold, you get a lot of nice parts with the Ultimate for a small bore engine, but I don't think that you should get rid of them. I think they're great parts and they're good to have, and if you ever want to put a smaller bore engine, they will come in handy. I just think, for me, for what you're doing, I think the Ultimate is the right choice, and it's a really nice truck, and it's really the pinnacle of MCD racing. So that's what I think. But in the end, the choice is yours. So for the RC Max or Mike Taylor, those guys are specialized in making engines. However, they do sell some RCs here and there. So basically what they do is, I've had a lot of customers getting confused and things like that run the big bore and they're missing some parts. So they remove a lot of the original parts from the car, like the air filter and all that stuff. They take it all out and then they put their setup in there. And sometimes this creates a bit of a problem, so there's nothing special being done in the chassis. If you get the setup, the engine, and the clutch bell carrier and all that stuff, and you put it in the MCD, it will fit because they made that setup already, designed to fit in the MCD cars for him. As for the car itself, you don't have to do anything. If you have an MCD, you have an MCD. You get the engine, make sure you get it with its clutch housing and all that stuff, the big bore, and it will drop right in. So it's not a problem. You know what I mean? If you get the 35 engine, you will be able to use all the nice parts that the car comes with that are designed for the smaller bore. But either or, I think that's my opinion. I think you should go for the Ultimate because you will not regret it. It's a really nice RC. It's really, really nice. So yeah. So let me know if you have any more questions, and we'll go from there. The Ultimate car, you have to remember, MCD is not a car. Well, now the guys are using them. They're bashing with them. They're having fun with them. But the roots and the originality of MCD is all about racing. Okay, so they are very big into racing. They have won many championships, European championships for the four-wheel drive. So when they design a car, it's all based on R&D based on racing. Okay, so when they make an aluminum car, they're not making an aluminum car for looks. They're making an aluminum car for making it more accurate. So there's less play and more accuracy when the car, so it holds your setup a lot better. And also, if you look closely at the pictures, you will find that the car is all milled out. So the arms are all milled out, the chassis is milled out, everything is milled out, the stiffener, it's all to reduce weight. And it's not heavier. No, it's not heavier. They have to maintain the lightweight because they don't want to go backwards. And the Ultimate is their peak car to show their highest level of parts for performance. So no, it is not heavier, and it's very well designed, and these guys know what they're doing. So their cars are very good, and the Ultimate is the Ultimate. So that's why it's called the Ultimate. It's the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle of MCD. So you get everything that is top R&D. And then if you don't like certain things, you can always switch with other parts that are existing. But the car is really good. Also, the differential cases on the Ultimate are made out of alloy. Not steel, they're steel and alloy. So the reason why they're alloy on the Ultimate is to reduce the rotational mass on the differentials. But if at any moment where you feel like, no, aluminum is not my thing, or it's a little too it's not as strong as I want it to be, you can always change the case to a steel one. But I think you will be happy if you get the Ultimate. I think you will be quite impressed with this car. It's a really nice car. Overall, the MCDs are I think on a league on their own, to be honest. They are quite the cars. So you don't need to ask many people around, just ask a few people that have them and they will tell you they're really good. So I don't think you will regret the Ultimate at all. So I think your best way is to get the car and then install the engine on it. I think this is really the best way. This is the right way to do it. This way you get your car complete, and you have everything that should be available with the car from the factory. So I think the Ultimate would be the nice one for this big bore. Just let me know. Take your time, think, and let me know which car or truck or which W5 you feel is best for you. But judging from our previous conversations and what you want to do and the type of cars you have and all that, I think the Ultimate is the one for you. So, but that's my that's what I'm thinking. Hey Kurt, what's going on? No, they don't. Okay, so the Ultimate is the only one that comes with the LSD diffs all around. The Max Pro does not come with the limited slip differentials. Okay, and the setup is, as I've mentioned to you. Okay, the engine with the Taylor engine. Okay, it's the engine. That's what they specialize in. But the cars, they remove parts from the cars, okay, and they put a solid lock bar, which I don't recommend. The solid rock bar on the truck is not good. Why? If you're running an on-road car, it's okay, because you're running on a flat surface, so you get that instant acceleration, right? But if you're running a truck and you're or a buggy and you're driving on unstable surfaces like a field, a grass field or whatever, it creates a lot of pressure if you're running a lock bar on the center rear shaft. and it will create wear quite quickly because there's no give on the drivetrain. So the differential is actually very important, and the LSD differential is an amazing differential. As I said, it gives you the aggressive that you're looking for, but at the same time, it takes impact, you know. So I highly recommend you stick with this setup, and also it's up to you. I mean, everybody has their personal preference, right? But I highly recommend you do this. You do what you've suggested at first, which is putting a regular engine, a small bore engine, which is, you know, the proper engine for these cars, and you start there. I highly recommend that because it will give you a chance to experiment the car as it's supposed to be. Okay, and you can use all the components that you have with it. You can use the ProBite clutch and all that stuff, and if you needed to put a 2-speed, you can use a 2-speed. But it's a good idea to start like that, and then later on, if you want to put those big engines, you can. But trust me, you will be satisfied with the way the car is just by putting one of those engines you mentioned to me. You know, I'm sure of it. So the Ultimate is the only car that comes with all limited slip differentials from the factory. The FTR, which is the one right in the middle, that one comes with the front and center limited slip differential, but not rear. So that one is a little bit close. But the Max Pro, no, it just comes with the planetary differentials. You know, that's why the car is more cheaper and more affordable, because, you know, it's more basic, right? So that's why the Ultimate and FTR are more expensive, because they have more. Those differentials are expensive. They're not cheap. They're very expensive differentials, the LSD. So you know, so this is why there's price differences, because of the parts and the way the cars are set up. They're more costly. The other cars they cost more. They have more. The differentials are very expensive to produce. So this is one of the main thing. And the aluminum is expensive. It's 70-75 aircraft aluminum. The car is all 70-75 aircraft aluminum. So there's reasons why it's the Ultimate is that price. The Max Pro, you know, the material is really high end, but, you know, it's composite material. So no matter what you do, it's cheaper to produce. So, you know, it's just like that. You know, that's what it is. You know, so hopefully that helps you out and gives you a better idea. Hello, Kurt. How are you? I'm sorry if you get this message in an awkward time because the time difference. I'm still in Germany. So we will discuss everything soon. I would for the steering, I would go dual if you are okay with setting that up. If you know how to set that up properly, I would go dual steering. If it's too complicated, I would just go single. But if you know how to set the servos well with dual steering, because, you know, you got to make sure everything is good when setting up dual steering, so that you don't they don't fight each other, basically. But if you can do that, I would go dual steering. It's very reliable and a lot less load on each servo.
Okay, well, you heard it from the man himself. So that's the reason that I'm running a small bore in this thing before I put a big bore in it. That's the reason I'm going to go dual steering servos. I'm not going to go single because he recommended it. Like, you know, he knows these things better than anybody. So, yeah, anyway. There it is. There is take one more look at that baby. The MCD W5 Ultimate. The Ultimate truck. Alright, man. Well, stay tuned. Like I said, there's some nitro and Fitzco coming either at the end of this video or on the next video after this. So, And we will be out at the Peeps this weekend. Hope everybody has a brahhpy happy 4th of July. Yeah, this thing is just sick. That's all I can say. Sick. Sick. I have to be sick in the head for spending this much money on this thing. Okay, well, next up, engine. But we will be running this thing before we put a big bore in it. So you guys will see this thing running hopefully in the next couple weeks. So we're going to run this thing again too. Maybe I'll take all 3 5/5 scales out one of these weekends. I'll take this one out. Well, I can't because I've only got those 2 engines. But we'll do a dual. Well, maybe we'll run the 5B with the MCD Ultimate. So, alright people. Everybody have, again, safe, happy 4th. Safe and sane 4th of July. Muggy's out. We didn't even see the underneath of this thing, huh? Alright, hold on. Let me see if I can lift this thing up. This thing is not as heavy. I'm surprised. It's not as heavy as my my 5B. This thing is lighter than my 5B. Oh my god, this thing is so light. There's the underneath. So you guys can see it. Stand it up. There's the underneath. Those arms are sick looking. See, because the way they're cut out, that's why they're not heavy. This thing probably weighs about as much as my Baja. I'm almost pretty, yeah, it feels like it. Maybe. It's definitely lighter than my 5B. I'd say that thing weighs about at least 32 pounds. Alright people, catch you guys on the next one. Muggy's out.